the very first comp in Taranaki, same as you might. But again, the experience of the judging and all that stuff. But as soon as we did work, I was like, yeah, this is it. Personally myself, I've done with IFBB and NABA, so I've experienced all those three sort of major federations, and WIF is my federation of choice, so that's one I'm sticking to for those reasons. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience through bodybuilding, why I got into it, but also the food and the psychology behind food. So I'm big on that kind of thing in my own business. So all my clients, so if you don't know, I do online training and coaching. I'm very big on our relationship to food. And with bodybuilding, it's even more challenging in terms of your mental health to go through these phases of dieting and depleting yourself, and then afterwards, what happens then? You've got no goal to hit, you kind of go off the rails. A lot of people end up falling off the wagon, so to speak. So, for me, when I started in bodybuilding, I didn't have a good relationship with food. It was actually terrible, and we'll attest to that. My diet was half a chicken and a bag of lollies at lunch, and then a can of soup at night, okay? That was literally what I was living on for almost five to 6 years, until I met Amber 10 years ago, something like that. And she's like, you can't do that. Amber was the one that wanted to do bodybuilding. I said, if you do it, I'll do it. And we started with a coach, eating more food, and eventually got into it. And first competition, we fell in love with it and haven't looked back. But from that experience, what it's taught me is that food is fuel, okay? Yes, we can enjoy food, and it's important to have nice food that you can indulge in on occasion. But at the end of the day, when you eat a burger, when you eat a Coke, when you drink a Coke, eat a block of chocolate or a chicken breast, your stomach doesn't know what you're eating, okay? It doesn't go, that was a lovely Coke, or, I really enjoy that chocolate. Your taste buds do, but your stomach doesn't. And then from there, what happens is it gets digested, right? So, and it pulls out all the nutrients and transports it around through your body to fuel our body in terms of what we're looking to achieve. Now, if we're not fueling our body correctly and we're eating poor quality food, your quality of your results is going to be drastically reduced. Now, food isn't just for weight loss. It isn't just for us to function in our lives. It also plays a major role in terms of our mental health. A lot of studies now lead to poor quality food choices leads to more depression. It can lead to long-term depression as well. And on the flip side, good quality food can do the opposite. So good quality food actually helps you get better mentally, okay? So if you ever experienced this yourself, that you're feeling really down and you kind of reach for the easy stuff all the time, and to give you that quick fix, that really satiating, oh yummy, I'm feeling crap, I need a bit of chocolate to make me feel better, and then you feel bad about eating the chocolate, okay? And then that perpetuates the situation, because then you feel bad, so you have more. And then you feel worse. And then you're like, well, now I've stuffed up my whole day, I may as well have the whole block of chocolate, plus the bag of chips, plus the cookies. However, it's so crazy to think like that. It's like having a car crash and breaking your tail light. You're like, well, I crashed my car and I may as well write it off now, go and smash it out and down the cliff. That's the same kind of thinking that we're going with, but when you put it in that context, it makes absolutely no sense, okay? So we need to sort of treat our bodies not like a machine, but similar to, okay? So it is a machine that we can use and fuel and optimize to perform better or worse, depending on the choices of food that you make. Now, through the bodybuilding prep, you're going to be restricted in terms of the food choices that you have available to you. And there's a big reason for that, right? We can't eat everyday food and get up on stage 3% body fat. It's just not going to happen. Otherwise, everyone out in the street will be walking around with 3% body fat, right? It's a hard thing to do, to get up on stage and look really, really good, be shredded, have good conditioning, and make sure you're still strong and your muscles are full. There is a science to it, but you've got to get there as well. So the prep will restrict your food as you go, but then, and we all know that if you've competed before, but then a big thing that I'm sort of focusing on a lot with my clients is that what happens after the competition? Because that's, for me, something that isn't really touched on a lot. And it's where I see a lot of people falling off the bandwagon, okay? Both mentally, physically, and with their food, okay? A lot of us come out of a competition and you get what's called the competition blues. And you kind of go through that down period, like not depression, but you're feeling down, okay? So a big focus for us is to actually prepare our clients for what happens after and reverse diet out of that competition diet correctly and also achievably, okay? If we're coming out of a competition and you're just eating whatever you want every single day, you're going to blow up real quick and you're going to feel like crap because you're eating poor quality food. So remember, food is fuel. If you eat crap food, you feel crap, eventually you look crap, all right? If you eat good food, you feel good, eventually you look good as well. So it's pretty simple in that aspect. But if you eat crap all the time, you feel worse, and then you keep reaching for the bad things over and over again. We want to really focus on the quality of food that we're going into our bodies and fueling our bodies for what we need to do. We don't need a big meal at dinner time, although it depends on your training. If you're training in the morning, maybe you do. But we want to prioritize our fuel for around the times that we're training, okay? And the same thing happens after the competition. So we might have a few days off of just having whatever you want, but then we need to get back on track. And sure, your goal might not be for another year, or you may not be for a couple of years away, okay? But you need to have that next stage. What do you want to do? Do you want to end up like a beach whale, or do you want to actually recomp out of that competition, looking your best, feeling better, and getting stronger, and learning from your experience? So a lot of that does come down to mindset, how you approach a competition, but also what is to be expected afterwards. And I think a big thing is missed is that people aren't prepared for after. So I wanted to sort of reiterate to everyone that you're going to struggle after the comp, okay? That's normal. It's really, really important that you stick to your plans and reach out to your coaches. A coach is there not just to prep you for a show, they are there for you every single day, in my opinion. Some coaches aren't, but in my opinion, a coach is there to coach you in life, not just to give you a training plan and a nutrition plan and say, here you go, see you later, because you need to be able to talk to someone and say, hey, look, I'm feeling like this, I'm experiencing this, what do I do here? I'm going out for dinner, you know, what should I look at doing? These kind of things are everyday life challenges that we face, and we need to have a sounding board to go off, okay? Someone with experience, someone who's been through it before, and someone who can provide us that knowledge that we can then utilize ourselves. So after the comp, you're coming out, you're feeling like crap, and you're binging out. How do we stop that? Okay, how do we switch that mindset back? Because that's the hardest point, right? So a big thing is giving yourself a break. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Because a lot of the time when we come out of the comp, we want it to look a certain way, now we don't. And that's what you're fixated on. But you're eating crap because that's what you're giving you a bit of comfort as well. And you've missed it for so long, you've restricted everything, so you're still binging out. And then it becomes habitual. So you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. We need to break that cycle, and we need to give yourself a break and say, hey, look, it's done. But what I am going to do is I'm going to draw a line in the sand now and say, I still have goals, I still have purpose, and I still want to achieve things. If I am not following some sort of structure and some sort of health in terms of myself, of course it's going to affect my quality of life and it's going to affect my results. So even if you don't compete in bodybuilding again, your quality of life will be greatly diminished if you treat your body like shit, okay? So treating your body like shit is not fueling it, not getting outside and getting in the sun, not doing exercise. You don't have to be at the gym, but some form of exercise, okay? If you look after yourself, you're going to get better results for everything that you do in life, not just on stage, but in your careers, in your relationships, and in your education as well. By eating better food, you have better brain cognitive function. By drinking lots of water, you have better brain cognitive function, okay? All these things play a huge role in your mental health as well. Bad food also can lead to gut bacteria that gets, bad gut bacteria basically. So what happens then is that there is a lot of research now coming out that has linked bad food and bad gut bacteria to depression and mental health. Okay, so if you're eating poor quality food, it can directly affect your mental health in the short term and in the long term. So that's another reason why it's just important to have healthy food in your diet. Hope that gives some information for people. That's pretty much what I want to talk about. Any questions on the food or what your guys' thoughts are on that? Any experiences that you've had yourselves that you've really struggled with?
Does sugar-free Cokes and stuff, do they affect your gut?
I really hope not. I'm pretty with you.
So there is some research on that they, in high doses, they can affect your gut bacteria, but if you're having 1 or 2 a day, it's not really an issue.
Dose.
High doses is if you're drinking 1.5 litres of Coke Zero,
Yeah.
that can potentially upset your gut bacteria. It's all about dosage at the end of the day. If you have too much of anything, it's going to be bad for you. Okay. If you have the right dosage of anything, pretty much within reason. I'm not saying take drugs and stuff, but I'm saying the right dosage of good stuff. You're going to be okay, right? Your body is pretty adaptable and it can repair a lot of damage that we do. That's why with bodybuilding, hey, look, anyone who says prepping for a bodybuilding show is healthy is out of their mind. It's not healthy, but we do it in as safely as possible, and we also have the ability to then repair and grow after the competitions, and that's again why it's really, really important to have good quality food going into you, because you've just done quite a bit of damage to your body, internally, mentally, physically. You need to have the quality of food coming out of it as well. Nice. Probiotics and digestive enzymes are a godsend. If you are on a very restricted diet, again, you can change the gut bacteria as well, which can lead to depression and all sorts of other things. Can slow down your digestion. Probiotics and digestive enzymes are gold. Okay, take those, prepping and after comp. They will help you a lot. When I was in Bali, I got sick with barley belly, and it destroyed me in terms of my guts. For about 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, I'd eat rice and chicken, and my guts would strip off like this. By taking probiotics and digestive enzyme, it basically reduced it in a couple of days. So obviously my gut bacteria was not good at that time. Any other questions?
Awesome, thanks Chris. Put your hands together for Chris.
So just a few things on that. Chris is exactly right, saying what